Let's see if we back now. I don't know what's going on with that. Ruby said that word. She said COVID-19. They kicked out.
You're allowed to talk about COVID
I
now.
know, I'm just joking. You remember when you really couldn't? That was. Are we back?
It said it actually looks like it's like a different stream that's starting.
It is a different stream. But it's saying that's the stream. Okay. All right, we appear to be on another stream.
Yeah, I think we are. Hold on. Well, let me get in there.
Well, welcome back to, I guess, part 2 of they kicked us off and then made us go into a different stream. Okay.
Oh, I don't even see where we're live.
Done teasing in the chat. Let's see.
Oh, there we go. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Totally different stream. Okay. So let's try again. Round 2. We will, if y'all, hey, thank you for the subscriber though, that realized that we do actually say real stuff here. And we don't just, go with like the mainstream narrative or what they want us to politely talk about. We go digging for stories that, they're not really publicizing. And so they do, occasionally try to silence us. Normally after the stream. This was interesting. This was our first midstream. They just said, nope. No soup for you. So yeah, we're gonna work on that. We are back, y'all. Please share if you can, to let people know where the stream is. Hopefully everyone finds their way back. Wow, I feel really special. I feel like we've arrived, it's like
Ruby
one of those
attacked Big
things.
Pharma. She could attack Jay-Z. She cannot attack Big Pharma.
Right? Y'all thought Jay-Z was the most powerful one. All I said with Big Pharma and brought up Champix. Actually, I shouldn't have said that again. I'm sorry if we get cut off again. It's my fault for saying it. Oh my gosh.
Are we frozen again?
Right?
If
That
we
was
froze,
wild.
if we froze again, that's crazy. No, we still here. We still here.
Are you sure? Because we're frozen to me on my screen. There's no way.
We were frozen for a minute. I think everybody back. Everybody back. Everybody good. Are we good? Mama Bell said she's back. I think we. Are we?
Are we good?
Done teasy.
I'm very worried about this. Okay. It looks like we're good. Listen, let's just shut my mouth and let's just go to the next video now. Move on to another topic because yeah, it's looking like they really don't want us to talk about that. So let's move forward. Jeez.
All right. Let's go talk about passion. We talked about passion. That's what we've been talking about the whole show. Let's go. All right, let's go. Dummy. What's that, Malphus? It's your boy Zelmay, and we're not talking about this idiot who literally told a 10-year-old boy that he would do him in the what and do what and got banned off Kick. How do you get off Kick? But that story not even the story we doing, because this right here about a husband tells wife you are going to meet Jesus before pulling the trigger is absolutely insane. It happened in the great state of Texas, of course, where an alpha reside. Y'all gotta hear this story because I didn't believe it when I saw it. And the visual is insane. And before we start this story, prayers out to this little girl who lost her mother through this incident because her father is like a psychopath. But we're going to go over the case. We're going to go over things in the case and all that. Let's get into this video.
Tonight, a daughter is finding the strength to tell her mother's story days after that young woman's father was sentenced for murdering her. The victim recording every haunting moment. In that video, a key piece of evidence in the killer's sentencing trial.
Well, as you know, jaws dropped in our newsroom when we saw it. And ABC 13's Alex Bozarchian joins us now with another big part of this case. The jury was made up entirely of women, Alex.
That's right, Eric. It was an all-female jury, which is rare but can happen. You're not allowed to strike down a juror on the basis.
An all-women jury gave this man 10 years. 10 for this crime.
of sex or race, so that's how it shook out here. The overwhelming evidence here was a video of the murder. Despite that, they sentenced Carrie Birmingham to 10 years in prison. The maximum would have been 20.
Okay. All right. Goodbye, Breeze. I'll see you later. You gonna meet Jesus.
Those were Carrie Birmingham's last words to his wife, Patricia, before he killed her with his shotgun outside their home in Spring. In the video, you can hear he fired 3 times.
It was working.
This all going down while their teenage daughter, Olivia, was at school.
I lost both my parents that day. My dad died that day too, because the person who did that to my mom and my father aren't the same person.
Patricia and Carrie had roughly a 30-minute argument leading up to the shooting.
You really want this on video?
I'll pull it. I'm mad enough to pull it.
Audio we obtained of several minutes prior to the video became a large part of Carrie's crime of passion defense.
I'm done.
I'm done too.
I'm done.
I'm done too.
Carrie had allegedly learned Patricia was having an affair. The two's argument.
Wait, how old is Patricia? Can we find their ages? Because I ain't
Getting
getting
more and more heated.
Don't blame him.
Then get the f out.
Carrie's defense attorney, Anthony Osso, says they pled guilty directly to the all-female jury. He says their strategy was to accept responsibility, but convince jurors Carrie shot Patricia in the heat of the moment.
We never tried to justify the actions of our client, but the defense wasn't about justification. It was about why he did what he did.
They tried to.
Olivia finds her father's defense questionable at best.
I don't know. That sudden passion. You have to have something. You have to have made that decision within you for a while. I feel like to do that to somebody you really, really love.
Carrie was given a 10-year sentence with the possibility of parole after 5.
You can get out to 5 years?
Olivia says in court she spoke to her father and gave us a summary of her victim impact statement.
That no matter what was said in this trial, you know the type of woman she was. You know who she was, and you know what you did and how he took away my favorite person in this world.
Olivia.
Listen. This story is insane. Let's go learn more about this story. Okay, this is important. This is new news right here. This is new news. Olivia testified she had never witnessed her father physically abusing her mom, but she wanted to raise awareness that there were different types of abuse she experienced, including emotional and financial. She said that while she still loves her father, she can never forgive him. Financial abuse is interesting because, again, if the man can't make the money, the man can't make the money. Sounds unfair, but if the man, that's all I gotta say. You know what I'm saying? The man can't make the money, he can't make the money. It's a little bit unfair to put on that man. But again, crimes of passion, we're gonna have to research that. Alright, we're about to study the crime of passion law. In Texas, crime of passion is an act that stems from provocation by the victim, causing emotions like anger, rage, and resentment that a reasonable person cannot contain. Examples of voluntary manslaughter or a heat of passion crime include killing a cheating partner or spouse, assaulting a partner out of anger, retaliation for abuse, or a crime of passion is not a legal defense in Texas, but Texas does recognize sudden passion as a legal defense. Sudden passion is an extenuating circumstance or mitigating factor that concerns the level of punishment for a crime, not guilt or innocence. In a murder trial, the prosecution does not have to prove motive. Instead, the defendant must prove they acted out of sudden passion by preponderance of evidence. For example, a person who commits an offense under the influence of a sudden passion arising from an adequate cause can have a crime reduced from a first-degree felony, such as a murder, to a second-degree felony. A murder as a crime of passion can have a far lesser prison sentence than a premeditated. Instead of the maximum 99 years in prison for premeditated, the punishment for murder as a crime of passion can be lowered to 2 years in prison. To understand the heat of passion manslaughter in Texas, it is important to define the crime. Basic crime is committed in the heat of the moment when the defendant reacts emotionally or passionately. The arguments is a lot in this, right? We have a bunch of arguments. First off, crime of passion usually helps men, if we're being honest. But as you saw, it does have the R word that happens, and to get back. But again, to get crime of passion, it has to be sudden. So you have to. So how rare is it that somebody R-word you, and then you get it right back? It's rare. So what would more likely happen in the good old state of Texas? A man find out he getting cheated on, he acts emotionally, he gets done. The reason I'm bringing this up is not to just defend women or nothing. It's just the fact that, ain't it a little strange that all of a sudden the people we call emotional, the women we call emotional, and all these things that we like emotional and men don't supposed to have emotion, we forgive the emotional act. Like, I can understand one. Like, listen, if you believe men are emotional creatures and that we don't know how to contain ourselves when certain acts that define us or go against us. For instance, gang culture. Somebody shoot your best friend, you got to go get them back. That's a crime of passion. You go straight out as soon as you hear about it, you go straight out there. That's a crime of passion, right? That's a loved one. Somebody took a loved one from you. Right? Correct? If that's the way we're going about it now, if we're going to just... Because gang members and mobsters are emotional people. They act on emotion. They do emotional things. They act out of pure emotion, not out of focus or common sense or what we would consider manhood. But to be fair, that's humankind. It's just not manhood or women or acting feminine or women are emotional creatures. We all emotional creatures. We all are controlled by emotion. Just depending on how much you can control your emotion. And usually, men used to tend to handle their emotions better. But this man committed a crime of passion, which, as we read by the law, is defined as what it was. He could have got 2 years, so he got 10. But that teenage girl lost her mother and essentially probably going to lose her father after seeing something so devastating. Even if you think the father should be forgiven for acting emotionally. I don't know why he was in his drawers, but naked and look like all these other things that we about to show on the screen as I talk right now at this mark. Because he does look like all these things. He looks like every one of them. And yes, you're making a joke about him. Yes. He did a despicable thing. He deserves to be made fun of as well as be in prison. That's the best we can do. You're only going to get 5 years most likely. He's mostly going to get 5 years. Now, that doesn't give the woman the right to just cheat on him and just go about it. Did he have the right to? Hell no, he just definitely don't. That's an overreaction. You divorce and you go over it. She didn't want to be with you no more, my guy. She said she done. You let it go. You don't do something crazy that can ruin your teenage child life because now you're in prison for at least till she's 20-some years old and she doesn't have a mother. Who's taking care of her? What is she, 16? 15? Now she's on her own. She has to find a way to pay bills on her own unless you had something set up. You set your daughter up for failure. Would a real man do that? Will a real father set his daughter up for failure? No. So he screwed up in a lot of ways. Not saying what she did right was right in any of this. The imagination. Tell the man you want a divorce and go on. If you just tell the man you got a divorce, he should go to jail for 30 years. You cheat on him with a man he apparently is seeming like he knew. He might want to act out a little bit. Not saying it's right. But I done seen men do a lot, just almost as bad of a lot less. And neither is justified. Let me know y'all thoughts. Like and comment on the video. Let me know which one of these characters did he look like the most, because that's our way of getting back at him. Peace.
Yeah, sorry. I'm on Team Vonda. Cheating does not justify murder.
That's not 100% not. I don't. Plus, it wasn't sudden. It doesn't seem sudden. I have no proof that it was sudden. I have no proof that it wasn't sudden. But I don't believe he didn't know. He had a clue, and looked like he was drunk. He got tired of it. He got mad because he walked on the porch while somebody recording him. But yeah, he should have got life. He should 100% get life in prison. But again, the laws is made for men, so he was passionate, Ruby. His wife cheated on him. You saw the law specifically states if your spouse cheats on you.
Yeah, but like that would be like if your spouse cheats on you and you walk in and they're mid coitus, that and it's such a shock to your system. You didn't see it coming. You thought you were just coming home from work early, you want to surprise your wife via the flowers in your hand because you think everything's fine, and then that would be like a sudden no. It you just no. This is the element to me of the like the trauma is just not present. And I'm gonna say something else. I think the daughter is a little low key lying / delusional for her daddy, and I just say that because she's like, I lost both parents because my father never would have done that. Lie. I don't believe you. I'm sorry. You're not going to convince me that there was no inkling you're like that your father had this in him. Like you could be like, oh well, yeah. I mean, he used to beat her, but like I never thought he'd kill her. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
No,
okay,
the
maybe he didn't make
the problem was he said he never physically abused her. That I think that might have swayed the court more if you heard her say that after she was like, I
Yeah.
hate him now, and I'm like, why would you say that? But it was financial troubles. I'm like,
Yeah,
I think
just
she
don't
thought
believe
that
it.
maybe made her mom look better than just financial troubles. I don't. It's
I don't know. I just legitimately, I just didn't believe her. And when she said that right there, I'm like, no, I don't believe you. I think you're mad or whatever, but you're still defending. Again, generally, like, okay, I'm not the kind of person who would, abuse my significant other physically, right? So it's less likely that I'm going to resort to violence if my significant other, cheats on me or, betrays me in some way, right? Because you don't normally go from 0 to 100. Normally there's some indication in there somewhere that you got this in you. I'm sorry. I know it's not like literally the science, but it's just not. It's just not. Um, Marcus said, by the way, what happened? I thought you guys had a short live stream. I didn't know it ended abruptly. Was it something I said? If so, I apologize.
Listen, Ruby went against
A
Robert
little
F.
bit.
Kennedy and Aaron Rodgers in their presidential campaign, and RFK's internet had to cut that off.
I don't know, like literally it was something you said or something I definitely said. And so it's not something we're gonna say again, because when we said it earlier at the start of this stream, the second one, we froze again mysteriously. So yeah, we're just gonna move on from there and not get the stream shut down, because the next thing coming is just too important for us and we don't want to miss out on it, y'all, because we have our creative corner. Okay, I'm super excited about this one. Okay, y'all are gonna need to go and check out the next creator, and especially this series, because I started off covering the migrant crisis in Chicago with Char Willie on her channel, Just Ask Char. I've got questions. And then, we did it a few times here on I'll Be That News. And it was just like, you know what? It just becomes more and more and more and more. And unless we made the whole show just about the migrant crisis, I couldn't keep covering it. But it's amazing because MrDJMuziq and Char Willie have been covering the situation. And oh my gosh, there's some situations ongoing. Okay, so we are going to check out this week's Creative Corner. Okay, and also give you the link to not just the stream, the section. We took a clip out of the stream, but this is a longer stream, a lot more evidence in it, and they've done several other streams. Okay, so you can definitely go over there, subscribe, whatever, while you're watching. Let's check out Creative Corner. Small, teeny, tiny grassroots news company. But there's so many of you out there that inspire us to keep trying to do good work and do good coverage. And we thought the best thing we could do, rather than compete with some of your stories, is to feature them on our shows. Every week, we are going to feature another amazing content creator and amazing news coverage that they are doing. And amazing content creation. Would it be political? Is it going to be entertainment? Is it going to be content creator news? I don't know. That's going to be the fun and exciting part. So welcome y'all to the Creative Corner. We super enjoy, appreciate, respect each and every content creator that makes it here. If you would like us to feature one of your stories to help it get exposure, or because you think that it's super important that we cover such a story and you want to hear our commentary afterwards on the live show, please email us. I'll be that news at gmail.com, and we will absolutely put you on the list. Cheers, y'all, and I hope you enjoy this week's featured content creator. Without any further ado,
good morning, good evening, good night, and good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's your nighttime or right time DJMuziq. Welcome to another episode of the Chop Shop. As you see right there on the screen, we're going to be talking about the migrant crisis in all the different cities, focusing on Chicago and New York. As always, on the Chop Shop with me, ladies and gentlemen, I got my good friend and my co-host, Char, Willie. Why don't you come on in, Char, and say hello to the good folks, would you, if you don't mind? How come don't you?
Well, hello, everyone. How are you doing out there?
Rory's NBC5 investigates Chicago's migrant crisis. By the end of next week, thousands of asylum seekers will be forced to leave the city's shelters under the new 60-day limit policy. Investigative reporter Bennett Haberly is here with the challenges ahead for these migrants, but also, Bennett, for city leaders.
Oh, that's right, Stephan. It will meet increased pressure on the city, faith organizations, and migrants themselves to find a place to stay. We asked Mayor Brandon Johnson about that deadline this week. His answers came only after we pressed him several times.
To Mayor Brandon Johnson.
Mayor Brandon Johnson on stage this week.
Every single young person, I want you to apply today.
To promote a summer jobs program, initially sidestepped questions about if the city would once again...
Okay, that would be my first question, Char. If the mayor's there promoting the summer job program with all them damn migrants, why we got to work for the money and they getting it for free?
You know how that go. He's just trying to make that seem like it's something he's doing, and then he's going to talk about, well, the children, they need something to do. They need to earn money, and that's why a lot of them out stealing and doing other things, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but that was going on long before the migrants got there.
Well, yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's funny how, you know, the folks like to turn a blind eye to something until you start pointing out what they're doing for somebody else.
Right.
What you got to say about that, Mr. Mayor? You're not too popular in Chicago from what I'm gathering. Is he, Sean? Not at all.
Not at all. They counting down when his term is over. I think he's in there 8 months. That's the last thing I heard.
Is he one of them one-term mayors?
Yeah, he is.
All right, brother man, you better do all you can now then.
Postpone the impending deadline for migrants to leave the shelters.
The city has twice or three times pushed the deadline back. Are you prepared to do that again?
We're compassionate people. I got you. I get you.
No. No, don't say that to him.
No, it's okay. But is it okay if I say that we are compassionate people, though? Do I have your permission to say that?
Mayor, it does. It just doesn't.
Okay. But so it's not okay that I let people know that Chicago's compassionate? And let me just.
What do you think about that, Char? Is it okay to let folks know you're compassionate?
It would be nice to let us know the answer to the question that we asked.
Yeah, it's obvious that you're compassionate. That's the.
We are compassionate people. And so we're doing everything in our power to demonstrate compassion. Now, as far as whether or not we will extend deadlines, we haven't gotten to that point. All right.
The mayor's spokesman later confirmed that the first wave of migrants will be asked to leave starting on March 16th. Those reaching their...
Okay, Char, that's less than what? Less than a week away?
What's the date? It sounded like you said
March 16th, right?
Oh, 16th. Okay.
Right.
So you're going to be asked to leave. You're going to say, "Excuse me, can you leave now?" And
then what? Go where?
Exactly. And then they like, "Oh, me don't understand. I'm sorry."
Right. You then go where? Right. And get back in the line again and just get recycled in first come, first serve. That's what's going on?
Now that part, how they're going to do that, I don't know. They're going to have some
Right.
buses waiting, or what?
Right. That's my question. When they evict these folks, where they gonna take them to? They're gonna send them back to Texas. They can't bring
Sound
them
like
to
some
South.
talk.
Right. They can't bring them to South Carolina. We don't play that here.
Sound like some talk to me. That's all. Just some talk.
Right. Rubbish. Garbage. Garbage. Like they say in New York. That's garbage.
Right. No plan at all.
60-day
Just
limit
talk.
will have the opportunity to re-enter the shelter system. But Johnson told reporters the city's main goal is to resettle as many people as possible. Are you guys seeing the demand for this ramp up as we approach this deadline?
Yeah, absolutely.
Charlotte Long works with the Sanctuary Working Group, a grassroots organization helping a small number of migrant families find housing, and with the help of grant funding, is paying their rent. The resources are finite. Charlotte says finding landlords willing to take on migrants who are eager to work but have no steady income is challenging.
Does that make sense?
Challenging. How about the word impossible?
Right, impossible. So I'm just basically, you want me to let you move these folks into my house. They don't speak English. They're from another country. They have no job, and you want me to just basically move in and take care of them. Not only I have to give them a roof over their head, I got to feed them too. Did you calculate that in? My water bill gonna go up. My electric bill gonna go up.
Everything, sewage, all of it.
Right,
gas.
everything. Right. Because they're not asking you to take in single folks, they're asking you to take in families.
Just think you be trying to get rid of your cousin. Now you're going to have a whole slew of people.
Right. No, my friend. Oh, no, my friend. They said I could not leave. No, I'm sorry, folks. This is getting just a little bit out of hand. If you quite ask me, I think the floodgates have opened. There's no way to go back from what this debacle that's been happening. We've been covering over the last almost 2.5 months now. Sure,
just about, yeah.
All right, and for every week that we've covered, it's just gotten progressively worse. Wouldn't you think so?
I would definitely agree to that.
All right. It's all about the money, it seems to me. And as we get further into this, you'll see exactly what I mean by that. It's all about the money. Somebody getting some big dollars.
Yes.
That people will end up on the street.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You already see the amount of migrants I see selling candy has tripled in the last few months. Children.
Where do they get the candy from? Who gives them all the candy and the snacks to sell on the street? Where they buy it from? These are the questions I would like to know. They got Snickers. They got Doritos. They got Milky Ways. Where they get the candy from to sell?
I don't know. I'm not for certain, but whether it's stolen or discounted, we not buying it. That's what I could tell you.
Well, I'm sure it is. I guess it's just like walking through a maze now of people trying to sell you candy and stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Chris, people aren't coming to America for $1,000 gift card. People are coming to America because they are fleeing atrocities. I, too, am a second generation from an immigrant family, Italians and Jews. And I'll tell you, they didn't leave Europe because they were happy in Europe. They left Europe because there was a problem. They were fleeing the Nazis in Germany. They were fleeing the fascists from Sicily. And they came to this country for a better life, same as these people are trying to do who are crossing our border now. A shame on our Congress for not acting over the last 40 years, quite frankly, to solve the problem. There have been solutions proposed. There was a 2013 bill that was a very good bill, far more progressive than this bill, and supported by people like Marco Rubio, who are now saying they won't support this bill, which is the most conservative, border security-centric immigration bill we've seen in 40 years. Look, we got to solve the problem. I get it. New York City shouldn't bear the burden by itself, but we can't just sit back and say people are going to come here for $1,000 gift card. Trust me, they're not.
What do you say, Char? You think people would come to New York if they know they was getting $1,000 a month gift card coming from a land of impoverished, a land of nothing?
Why not? Because if it starts with $1,000, what else can I get?
Right now, one thing we do know, and this is no slight at the Latino population, what we do know is that they can live in a house with four or five different families, 3 or 4 different families, especially if they're a small family. It's mother and daughter, mother, father, you know what I'm saying, kids, 1.2 here, whatever. And they can live, and they can take that $1,000. Say you got 3 families, taking that $1,000, stacking it up for 6 months. All they're paying is what? Maybe you split. If you can find a place to live, say you're paying $1,000 a month between 3 families. The rest of it you banking.
Yeah, and they're going to save and do whatever they're going to do. But it's not that, he's just talking about, $1,000. It's more than that.
It's much
They
more
got
than
here.
$1,000.
A lot of people got here with nothing. Literally was told, hey, want to catch a flight? Okay, go over there and the bus will pick you up, take you to the airport. Governor, he gonna fly you over there. Then there's another bus gonna pick you up. Here's your package here. Here's your backpack with the things you need. I mean, a lot of things were furnished. So stop saying just somebody's watching the news.
Right.
$1,000. Let me pack up and leave. No, it's not like that.
Right. Believe me, they get a lot more than $1,000 when they get here, buddy. So again, we was born on the weekend, but wasn't last.
We hope you enjoyed this week's Creative Corner. If you love what we're attempting to do here on I'll Be That News, please like, subscribe, and share. If you know of a good content creator or a great piece of content that we should feature here on our Creative Corner next week, please email it to us, illbethatnews@gmail.com. And finally, please check the description box, or if you're not watching this live, please check the pop-up to be able to check out the content creator featured on this week's Creative Corner. And now, back to our regularly scheduled programming. Zell, Future Ruby, what say you? I mean, honestly, and you know what, I do generally, I think, and I used to say this, right? I'm like, I think I'm a little further left than Char is, especially on this issue, definitely. Okay, a little more humanitarian, which is easier to do when it's not directly affecting you. And I totally understand that part, right? I don't live in Chicago. It's not affecting me. They're not stealing my resources and taking things away from my kids and from my city and from my people and from my tax dollars to do any of this, right? I don't have to walk by piles of people sleeping in here, there, and everywhere. And it's not affecting me. I get it, right? But normally, like I said, I think I'm just a little bit more severely far left than Char is, and then obviously from where Muzak is. But like, I gotta say, like, I really love the point that Char brought up. It's like when they're being like intentionally intellectually dishonest, when they're like, come on, no one's coming to America for $3,000. Like, how intellectually dishonest was that argument? Like it's just like,
I know how insane Mitch McConnell came off when he was like, we gave $1,400 for 6 months, y'all should be able to survive. This is $1,000 a month. A regular American's got $1,400 for what, a year, and then we got another $1,000 for another year. A year, and Mitch McConnell pretended like, and everybody pretended like, oh, that should last y'all. So we don't have jobs. No one has jobs. And then you wonder why people rioting in the streets and burning stuff because somebody died named George Floyd, because no one has jobs. We have seen things way more incendiary lately, and people have work to do now, so they don't go out as much. And by the way, I want to say something. It's a lot of illegal immigrants in Texas, but they are all skilled. And I promise you, they send all the ones that's not skilled to everywhere else. I promise you, these people that live here are carpenters and all that. And if your family not a carpenter, they're like, nope, you ain't got no skill. You can't work for that,
whose
man.
fault is that? It's not even the migrants' fault. I think maybe that's where it is, because I'm coming from the perspective of it's not the migrants' fault. You're shipping them in from warm weather, right? Because like at least if you're somewhere warm, you can make it on your own. Let's be real, you know, you put your little tent up, you can make it on your own until you can figure something out for yourself. And then in the warm areas, that's why again all those illegal immigrants are out there picking oranges and stuff, right? It's stuff that no one wants to do. They're willing to do it, and it's enough to, you know, at least feed them, save up a little something to try to get a roof over that, you know what I mean, whatever, right? But no, you ship them into like inner cities where like people can't afford to live there anyway. And then you give them nothing. You don't give them like anywhere that they could live. You're not giving the cities proper direction. The cities aren't giving the city. I mean, when I say the city, I mean like the governments are not giving proper infrastructure to the city to help deal not just with the problem, but with the issue of, hey, guess what? Your citizens are really tired of this garbage, and you've got to make it worth everyone's while. Like it's not just like, but then they keep coming up with these solutions that it's like they don't care. Like if they do half of the stuff that they say that they're gonna do, imagine how it feels right now to live in Chicago or New York, any of these cities that are affected by this, right? As a citizen, imagine how it feels to have struggled every day trying to find childcare, trying to afford childcare, not being able to eat some days or some weeks over the cost of childcare, to find out that they're giving all the migrants just free childcare for all migrants. Not for you though. Not for like everybody. Not let's set up some stuff for like, you know, everybody, you know, and fine, the citizens have to pay a little bit, but it'll be super cheap. And the, you know, people who are under a certain amount of earning, they can get it for free, whether they're migrants or not. No. We still don't care that our impoverished citizens can't afford childcare. They're not getting any help, right? It's like, I just find it wild. I find it wild that Americans had to beg and plead and literally be in the worst possible case scenario with the worst crime spikes in like decades for y'all to get like the occasional stimulus check, which was like nothing. When I say nothing, like I think in Canada, we're getting like $2,000 a month per citizen.
So I mean, $1,400 per family, or $2,000
yeah,
a family,
about $1,400 per family. Like that was
2,000 per family, 14. I think it was 1,400 per individual, 2,000 per family. Then the second was cheaper, and it was for a year, and it wasn't even a month. They're like, nope, we ain't paying y'all for a month. Y'all better, y'all better get on YouTube and Twitch. Y'all better start Twitching.
You know what I mean? They did not care, and I'm like, what are you expecting when you show your citizens, hey, we're going to take your taxes? Like you're taking money from everybody. You're not even allowing people to like figure out what they're going to do. So you're taking money from them and saying, hey, listen, it's to pour into the infrastructure. It's to pour into stuff for you, the citizen, I promise. But guess what? Chicago now is absolutely, if no other cities are aware of this, right? If Chicago in particular is super aware of the fact that their tax dollars are not going into helping them at all. Not just because of the migrant crisis, but because we are well aware of the fact that Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard literally has a Beyonce sized security pool, never mind all of her trips and this and that and da-da-da. And the amount of money that woman has spent, never mind how much she makes in a year, has for sure let Chicago know under no uncertain terminology at all that the government does not care about them. Like just at all. They just don't care. They do not care. It is absolutely wild to me. Let's take a look at some of these comments. By
the way, while we looking at the comment, we gonna just tell the truth. It's been a political football between the left and right to play a game just to win political favor over where the compassionate versus where the strict on borders people, where y'all can have bills that y'all could pass, but y'all never do it for the last 50 years. And it's actually hard to migrate to this country. And it's actually easier to probably come here illegally than it is here to get legally. Because it takes, especially after COVID, it takes years to get here legally. Because first up, the Republicans block justices so you can't have judges to allow people to do immigrant judges. They block almost half of them. So now you can't. Now you don't lack of judges. So the judge only have so much time to look at each individual case. And then they like, we're going to build a wall, even though we bringing these people on 18-wheelers. And I'm like, if they just come through the thing on 18 wheelers, I don't what the wall gonna do. It's all a game. It's like a play. Like, oh, we're gonna build this giant fence that costs millions of dollars, even though we halfway built it in certain parts, and it still didn't do anything. But we're gonna pretend like it will because it's a political football, and we just gonna go back and forth. You know, it's fun. It's fun because it doesn't matter. We're not doing anything. It's a game. It's about image. That's why you hear the word compassion from one group and strong borders from another group over and over. It's been the same thing for 50. You notice it ain't changed.
Absolutely. So let's start with Char. Saying that they're actually receiving a package with cell phone, bus ticket, paperwork, etc. So that's what they already received, right, Char? Like that's like the package for them. That's their basic stimulus package, right? Until they get shipped to wherever. I don't know. It's just such terrible planning. Vonda says exactly. This is about to get much, much worse. MrDJMuziq said, thank you for sharing at I'll Be That News and much respect. Of course, I'm so happy you guys are doing such in-depth coverage. Like I said, this is not the first stream. I think this is the ninth. I took a small segment of their stream. I think this is like the ninth stream that y'all have done on the migrant crisis. So there's like a lot. If y'all aren't following it, there is a lot. Y'all need to go over there. Posted the link a couple times in the chat. Y'all need to go over there. You need to subscribe. You need to take a look at this if you're not in the know, because oh my God, it is a horror show. Non-Swirl Zone said, Ruby and I'll Be That News just may have a future in network or cable news. Thank you. Tyler Perry. I don't know if that's good or bad. Vonda said $1,000 is a great incentive for poor people, isn't it though? The people flocking to America are not rich, so $1,000 looks great. Yeah, a woman month. Right? No, a woman sold her daughter for $1,000. I'm not even kidding. A South African woman sold her kid for $1,000. So yeah, $1,000 is a very powerful motivator, and that's without thinking about all the other things connected to that, including opportunity. And Muziq said, yeah, I think you might be right on. Yeah, absolutely. Rosalind said, that's why we bring people in from the West Indies every summer to work the farms. Exactly, right? Because to them, it's a lot of money, right? To here, it's like slave wages, but to them, a lot of money. So let's stop pretending that they think in the terms that we do, where they're like minimum wage has to be over $10 or it's not a workable rate. No, they live somewhere where like literally what we make in a day, they may not make in a month. So like, let's not pretend $1,000 is not a huge amount of money.
Went to Nigeria and gave a dude $15,000. He's like, I'm a millionaire now. Basically, his country based on.
Yeah, it happens. Conversion rates are no joke. Vonda said, the poor living in America is much better than poor living in Guatemala. Think about it. Is it though? I mean, I don't know. Cause you know what, here's the thing, right? Like when I think about my cousins and what they make in Jamaica, like it's like, and they're not poor Jamaicans, but like, you know, when I think about what they make in Jamaica, I'm like, it's crazy. But what they're allowed to do in Jamaica is very different than what we're allowed to do, right? And so they have chickens and they're allowed, and you know, and they've got the weather too for it, and they have all the stuff that they plant that they can eat out of, and you know, they have their giant wells. They're allowed to catch their own rainwater, which you are not allowed to do here. It is actually illegal for you to do. You must pay for water. You know, and you're allowed to make your own electricity. You're allowed to do pretty much like anything. So when and you can build on your own land as much as you want. So when you're poor, if you get one piece of land, the world's your oyster. Here, if you're poor, if you go one piece of land, you have to pay a massive amount of taxes that are all breaking you when you're already broken. So I don't know. Turtle Boy Mitch didn't like that. That's what Char said. I have no idea what that meant. Someone's gonna have to tell me. I mean, think about it. Not Swirl Zone said to Vonda, their culture promotes group economics. Think about 10K migrants with a 1K windfall, down payment on an apartment or a bodega. That's facts. Rosalind said, I'll never be trying to run in that direction. True. Yeah, MrDJMuziq said it was going on episode 9. See, that's what I'm telling you. You get together. Get over there immediately. Muziq said a family of 4 would get $4,000 plus food, rent, and allowance. So it's per person.
Oh,
It's
they definitely
$1,000
live better
per
than they
person,
did.
not per family. Per person, you're lying. Oh.
Bro, we were stuck in the house with COVID and we had COVID and couldn't get a job. We were sick and couldn't get a job. They're like, nope, we ain't giving y'all nothing.
Right? 1,000. Bro, I'm done. I'm done.
Y'all
I'm
get
done.
$1,400. Y'all better survive.
$4,000. $1,000 per person. Yo, I'm so done. Per person. That is
You
wild.
better have a lot of kids, boy.
Y'all need to go support Mr. DJ Music and getting this information out there. Because what in the hell? Okay, let's watch the next video. That's wild. That.
By the way, trigger warning. This video is absolutely disgusting. But so good luck. I'm finna go cook and not watch it. Okay. I'm
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I understand the market. I understand how this works. I understand marketing. Let me just explain to you why people want the youth. And we all like to pretend to protect our kids, but really want to influence our kids. That's why Florida can always, and Texas can always say, freedom of speech. Kids need to know all the truth when it comes to black people and all the weird things. Like, we need to give every perspective. But when it comes to maybe the LGBTQ community, the same states can be like, we need to ban all the books. We have to protect the youth. Because it's hypocritical. We want to get their thoughts. Why? Because once they the 18 to 49-year-old demographic, they buy things. They vote. The older they get, the more they vote. Because older people who tend to vote more tend to leave this earth. And the younger people, as they get older, tend to vote more. Now, you kind of don't care about them as much as 18 to 30, but when they hit like 30, they start considering society more and how they can interact, and they learn a little more. It's less rebellion and more influence, you know what I'm saying? Oh, now I understand how the world works. I got a 401k now. It's starting. My real career, that my final job is now started. I'm not just in my job-to-job era. I'm in my career era now. So now I need to focus on certain things. So what is better for my 401ks and everything? And oftentimes the thing we learn in our youth can sometimes sway that, even if it's like simple things like, oh, women's rights, LGBT rights, or racism. Some people use that. Some people use economics. Like I said, 401ks, business stuff, and they try to use that too. Well, all to influence the youth. But sometimes youth need to be kids and let them be kids, but also realize they are kids and need to be watched. That's where this story comes in, because y'all been staring at it for a minute. Yes, an Oklahoma high school fundraiser video shows student licking toes, school under investigation. Now, this is I don't know why this is a fundraiser. Maybe OnlyFans is to have destroyed the youth. Maybe all this fight back has destroyed the youth. I got disturbed looking at the video, so I stopped it. I'm just saying. But video from high school fundraiser of student licking toes has gone viral online. And it's got parents up and on, but an investigation seems to be starting up. Here's the deal. During a fundraiser earlier this week at Deer Creek High School in Oklahoma, a Republican state, by the way. I don't want nobody to get confused because this happened everywhere. Several students appeared to be getting on their stomach licking peanut butter off toes of other students. Check out the vid. Originally obtained by Fox 25. It's pretty gross stuff. Some kids are down on the basketball court, while others are laid back kicking their feet up and letting them lick away. The whole video caused a firestorm online, with tons of people on social media calling out organizers for allowing a stunt like this to go down in the first place. Among upset ex-user, Oklahoma State Superintendent Ryan Walters, who posted a tweet letting his followers know his agency would be investigating exactly what went down. This is disgusting. We are cleaning up filth in Oklahoma schools. Our agency is investigating. Sir, you are responsible for kids. Do you not have anyone in these school districts seeing what's going on? You are the leader of the state. But maybe this is a one-time thing, you know what I'm saying? Deer Creek isn't copying to any wrongdoings here, by the way, saying that the statement that all the students volunteered to do this and no faculty or staff member were involved in this particular game. Why is no adults in charge of kids? Why are there no adults in charge of kids? Like, let kids be kids, but remember the internet is influencing kids. And in this virality culture, in the culture to do anything to get famous, anything goes. So at this point, it takes a village to raise a child. It literally is going to take a village to raise a child, but no one wants to hear me. The school also pointed to the more than $150K they say they raised for a local charity. Seemingly say money is a good reason to move past the controversial game plan. Anything for money. We have raised a society where anything for attention. And it's not just a Democrat or Republican, it's everybody. We have psycho Republicans, we have psycho Democrats doing anything to get on, saying anything. We have the Marjorie Taylor Greens, we have whatever liberal, all the liberal whoever, just saying anything to get on just so they can get that moment. An anonymous statement from a parent whose child goes to school to 525 sums it up well, with the parent saying the money's great, but the school needs to admit it probably wasn't the best way to go about it. Meaning you kind of okay with the money because everybody that lives in this culture get it how you get it. But like I said, the superintendent, it might was the first time. Let's forgive him, right? Let's forgive the superintendent because it might was his first time ever seeing this. As you can see, Ryan Walters might be his first time. It might not be something known because this is weird, right? It's got to be the first time, right? It's not the first time. That's how crazy it is. It is not the first time. Oh, Oklahoma high school fundraiser, students licking toes, etc., happening at another school in Oklahoma. Is this Oklahoma, right? Yes, in Oklahoma. I just want to make sure y'all read it with me because, yes, I want to make sure it happened in Oklahoma. That means it has happened before at another school, meaning it's just not a slight oversight. That school got it from another school. And we don't know how far this goes. The Oklahoma high school under fire for a fundraiser that had students licking their peers' toes apparently wasn't alone. Videos of another high school student doing the same have surfaced. New clips have started to make the rounds online that students from a neighboring high school right down the street, Edmond High School, that showed their own people using their mouths to slurp up peanut butter off the feet of others, with videos back in 2015. Not just this, it turns out these videos show students licking up armpits. These videos suggest Deer Creek, the original school that was revealed to have done this, wasn't the only educational institution in town taking part in this bizarre activity. Folks who've been following the story continue to be up in arms, labeling the whole thing disgusting, going well beyond appropriate. Deer Creek previously denied any wrongdoing, saying in a statement that students volunteered to do this. Again, the same routine. The answer is probably no for Oklahoma State Superintendent Ryan, who has launched an investigation vowing to clean up the filth. Yeah, do we not see the problem here right now? That there's no accountability nowhere. That's my biggest problem with society right now. We have no accountability. We have nothing going on for us right now because we have no accountability. The school like, we got paid, it's no problem. We have gotten paid, we have no issues. 150K, even the parents in a weird way was like, the money's good. I think we should do something about it. The money to find our school can very much prosper from the said incident. I'm sorry about yelling in your ear. I'm just a little, because this man clearly has a whole district doing this, from Edmond High School to Deer Creek, and no telling how many more. And as I said, if it's a one-time thing, it could be an oversight. And maybe that one school is just not doing their due diligence, but why is it at multiple schools? It's something wrong in the state of Oklahoma. It's something wrong in the waters in Oklahoma. It's not just Oklahoma. It's not just Oklahoma. Washington State School under investigation over a gross student staff licking contest. So it's not just Oklahoma. It's just over a Washington State middle school has come under fire after students and the faculty members took a bizarre licking contest described by students and parents as gross and highly sexualized. Viral video of the disgusting competition showed Desert Hill Middle School staff and students slobbering all over plexiglass while competing in an apparent race to lick up marshmallow cream, according to the report. The revolting display led to an investigation by Kennewick School District to determine how and why the event was held a couple weeks ago, just before spring break. The activity does not reflect the high standards we hold for our staff members and outline district policy. Superintendent Tracy Pierce said in a letter to the school community last Wednesday, according to Tri-City Herald, the contents of the video being shared on social media is highly concerning in the situation currently being investigated by the district. The video posted of Wake Up Washington State Facebook shows staff in middle schools on the opposite side of a clear glass licking 4 lines of cream. Some watching on laughter while others seem to be horrified. That's actually gross. One student can be said hurt and his nursery ill. What the heck a student is hurt explaining? Listen, the kids are disturbed and why are the teachers involved? I don't even really know how even once you have to say it out loud, it seemed like a good idea. Another parent whose daughter goes to the school told Fox News she thought some of the behavior by the staff was highly sexualized. In my opinion, we do not send our children to schools to be exposed to highly behavior by adults, Megan Essay told Fox News digital statement. We send them to school to learn, for them to socialize with other people their ages. They shouldn't have to sit in the gym for a school assembly and wonder what's going on. School should be a safe place for kids, and a despicable display of adult behavior is hard to watch. So this is not directly licking toes or feet or that. This is licking glass across from an adult. A middle schooler. I don't know what's going on with our youth. I don't know what's going on in the world. It seems like mental health with the Ryan Garcia thing is at all time high, constantly online, constantly thinking about what other people, the FOMO, the fear of missing out, the constant interactions with people, or the lack of real connection seems to be an issue right now in this country. Seems to be an issue not only in this country, in the world. In which, like I said, do anything for clout and money seems to be the vibe we on. Say anything, go come up with the most crazy conspiracy theories just to get attention. Seem to be a thing now. I don't know what's going on in the world, but y'all need to just unplug. Stop reading the conspiracy theories and being crazy and thinking everybody's out to get you. Stop opening your mind up to all the crazy people who influencing you to do bad things. Watch your children. Actually watch your children. Your neighbor should be watching your children instead of having this attitude that, oh, I know better than my child. You don't tell me how to raise my child. I'm not trying to tell you how to raise your child. I'm telling you to watch your children, or even ask people to help you watch your children, because you can't be everywhere at one time. That neighbor, I always tell this story. Mr. Dorsey is my neighbor. He always watched me. It was annoying when I was younger. I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just walking to my house to play a game. Yeah, Mr. Dorsey always like, where you going? What you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Mr. You annoying me, but I'm thankful. Because what if I was in trouble? What if I was hanging around the wrong people? What if the wrong thing happened? What if I was doing something crazy? What if an adult saw me walking by myself and Mr. Dorsey wasn't out there and he decided to manipulate a 7-year-old or 8-year-old? Well, my brother wasn't around, but my brother was around. And he was like 14. So what if it wasn't? What if somebody was doing it with my brother and then they manipulate the situation? What if those situations happened if I didn't have a neighbor watching me or an adult paying attention to me? And when I say pay attention, I mean actually listen to what I got to say, just in case something did happen and you don't know. Because if you talk to me, you can. Not get on my child's face and all that. Because these situations wouldn't happen. This is there, and I didn't mean to preach to you. I didn't mean to preach to you. I'm just telling you disturbing trends that's happening in schools. Like and subscribe, hit that notification bell. We're going to break this down. We're going to really go after people who really do that, because it's a passion of mine. I don't want to ever see nothing happen to nobody. Like and subscribe, hit the notification bell. We're going to have some more shorts, more everything. Shout out to Ruby. Shout out to y'all that watch every day. Again, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell. We'll be back next Thursday. Friday we off, and Friday shows will probably start back soon. My schedule changing around, so we might do some fun things. Also be aware of some more shorts. I know I was gonna put out a lot more, but I'm still working on the project. We're gonna still probably put out a short, but all that stuff. I'm just rambling. Peace.
We really need to cross check with each other and just figure out what intros we use, because we tend to always put the intros, like when we use the same intro, back to back without realizing that's what we did. I'm just saying that because my next intro is going to be the same intro as yours. Moving on. So that was the first thing I don't know. Can we just talk about that for 5 minutes? Because like, I think I would rather that. I just have an issue in general, like against feet. Like I don't even want to touch other people's feet or like.
I felt it.
Yeah. So like.
It was so nasty. Like what the going on?
Yeah, apparently, like, you know, they're licking feet and armpits and
so nice. Plexiglass, whatever
like just, and you know what though? Like here's the thing. People would be like, okay, Libs of TikTok reported it wrong. It wasn't actually adult feet that the kids were licking. And then that just lets us know, like, seriously, things have gone so far that to get people to pay money or to get that shock factor or that excitement, like you have to do stuff like this now. You can't do kissing booths. Who's going to pay for that? These days it's free sex and love everywhere, right? And then there's so many trends people are doing, going up to like stealing cars and driving them around and stuff. Like literally, what can you get? People are lighting themselves on fire for trends. Like there's so many things people are just doing for free. So you're like, what can you make a fundraiser out of? And I think that that's showing us part of the issue, right? Is what can you make a fundraiser out of these days? This is where it's getting to. And let's not kid ourselves, okay? Adults who are creeps and pedos, but okay, at least creeps, because whatever. They make children's shows and they're obsessed with kids' feet. And that's why in these children's shows, there's always things with the girls having their feet in the air, the boys with feet. There's a reason for that. I don't know what it is about these creep shows that are into like kids' feet, but that they do it. So when I hear that, like, that's what's happening for like a decade in Oklahoma schools, I'm like, how many creep shows do you have running your schools and your student events? Exactly.
And the fact they were like, oh, it's okay, we made $150K, and I'm like, what? No, that is not okay. No, it's not okay because you made $150,000 for charity. No, do something else.
Right. I don't know. Vonda said earlier, she said that they sent permission slips home to parents asking if their children can lick nasty ass feet. Did they say that? I think I missed that. If they said that,
I have
did they
not
say
seen
that
in the district. I have not seen that. Basically, what I read so far is, well, that was a week ago, but basically they've been investigating. But what I read, they were basically like they didn't know what the kids were doing, even though they could be lying and sent them and then pretended like they didn't know what the kids were doing, because that's what people do. Like, hey, we don't know what they were doing. Like, ain't it your job? Don't you supposed to have a supervisor over you?
Right.
Even if you have a charity event, you're supposed to have like a coordinator.
Of course they do, because children are allowed, even for prom, whatever it is, right? They're not allowed to supervise themselves, obviously. So
somebody's lying. Vonda's probably 100% correct, and they just lying to try to. Well, you didn't do it,
right? Char says they're practicing for their OnlyFans. At this rate, kind of, right? Like no one wants a job anymore. That's what people want. They want to be online content creators. They want to only work for a couple hours a day. They want to be able to sell themselves online in essence. And there's not really limits because again, free sex and love. So like, who cares if you're doing, OnlyFans, like whatever, you just way to make a quick buck. Who cares? Like that is actually the attitude of like the millennials, Gen Z, and it's now being passed down to Gen Alpha. Because like middle school, come on, we're just poisoning. Poor Gen Alpha doesn't even have a chance, man. They don't even have a chance. We're just destroying that generation, and they barely have existed. It's funny. Rosalind said that kissing booths could never fly in some areas, including Oklahoma, right? Because like it would be too impure to do a kissing booth because Let's pretend that kids don't kiss each other or have sex, right? But yeah, licking toes is good, clean fun. Licking armpits, good, clean fun. Licking other adults through plexiglass is good, clean fun.
150K, Ruben. 150K. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, okay, all right.
No. And then, Vonda said she was asking to have. Okay, because I was like, wait, what? Did they say that? I missed them saying that. You know what, though? I wouldn't even be surprised at this point. Hey, we're having a licking competition. It's so fun. Can we do it, Ma? Well, as long as is there any nudity or kissing involved? Well, nude toes, that's fine. Jesus said your toes can show. Yeah, so Don Teasy said they like that sharp tang taste. I'm done with you. Nope.
Ruben said
nope. I'm done. Over. Yeah, I'm totally done. I'm sorry, y'all. We are ending on a sad note here. Well, it depends on the story is sad. The finding outing and someone getting caught when they normally would have gotten away with this, I think, is going to be good news. So, y'all, our final story of the night. Let's check it out. Now, y'all, this is a super, super sad story. And I want to cover it because, well, I think, unfortunately, when you lose the lives of 3-year-old twins, the story has to be important and we have to learn something from it. So let's take a look.
Meanwhile, we continue to follow that tragedy on the highway that claimed the life of 2 young children this week.
Yeah, this is really a heartbreaking story. Those children were 3-year-old twins, and police tell us their mother left them in the car and then jumped off the overpass onto train tracks below. Tonight, that mother remains in the hospital.
NBC6's Kim Nguyen is following this story for us tonight. Kim, what have you learned now about the mother's condition?
Yeah, well, like you guys mentioned, that mother is still in the hospital. We are learning that mother is still in critical condition tonight. The father and family members left devastated by this loss.
The young lives of these 3-year-old twins gone too soon. In Creole, their father, Milson Cadet, says he doesn't know why.
I don't really know what happened. He still don't know what happened.
All right, guys, we are on scene.
Miami-Dade police say they found the brother and sister unresponsive inside this SUV on I-95 and the Florida Turnpike extension Friday morning. Detectives say the driver jumped over the wall and fell on the railroad tracks. Cadet says the driver is Charlene Alcime, his children's mother.
What happened for the day, either like why my kids all pass away.
Cadet says he last saw his kids, Melinji and Melinda, and their mother Wednesday at their North Miami Beach home. He says he called her that day and all day Thursday.
Is it 1 o'clock? 2 o'clock? 3 o'clock? He still tried to call. She's never pick up.
Their older son says he also last saw his mother and siblings on Wednesday.
She's a good person. She works. That's all I know. She's a good person and she works. That's it. A lot.
Alcime owns several businesses in the area. We learned that she and her family have faced several eviction cases over the last 2 years. The case against her family home is settled, but one is still pending against a business location. We don't know what, if any, role that could have played in what happened Friday.
The baby's sick. I don't know. The baby's not sick. I don't know.
Friends and family hope police bring them answers.
Yeah, she said he's not gonna feel like okay now.
And the father says that the kids did not have any health conditions. The cause of death for the twins has not been released. For now, we're reporting live from North Miami Beach. Kim Nguyen, NBC6 News.
Well, tonight, a mother is facing charges in connection to the tragic death of her 3-year-old twins. This comes nearly 2 weeks after the twins were found unresponsive on a local highway.
Nico Clemens joins us live from North Miami Beach with the alarming allegations tonight.
Okay.
Nico.
Well, Juwan, Trina, this is a heartbreaking story. When we spoke with the father a couple weeks ago, he told us he didn't know what happened to his children or why their mother jumped off the interstate. Well, now we know from detectives that Shirlene Alsame admitted that she planned to not only kill herself, but her 2 children.
I mean, I think most of us probably, you heard the story, you're thinking to yourself, that's probably what it was, right? It's one of these family annihilator women situations where she decides she wants to take herself out, and then she's like, well, I can't leave the kids, so I'm going to slaughter the kids first and then take myself out. And it seemed to me like that's probably what it was. I was kind of hoping it wasn't, obviously. But this was her plan all along. Let's hear more. These were 3-year-olds, and she had an older son, at least one child, an older son. She had the father. I'm sure there was other family friends. I mean, we saw several people related to those babies in the previous coverage. So why didn't she just give here's these kids. I don't want them anymore. I'm going to jump off a bridge now. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta ask yourself these questions. 3 years, right? There's a difference between the postpartum period, right? In that first, like, say, year after you've given birth, and then 3 years down the line, right? You can no longer say, well, my hormones were just out of whack and flux, and I don't know. Let's keep watching. I don't know. Maybe we'll hear some more information.
All right, guys, we are on scene.
A disturbing admission from a mother and a grieving father struggling with loss. An arrest report says Shirlene Alsame told detectives she planned for months to murder her twins and herself because of her, quote, current financial status and multiple debts that she owes. Detectives say from her hospital bed, the 42-year-old admitted to driving around all day with her children February 1st. And early the next morning, she drove to different locations searching for a bridge to jump off of. The report says Alsame told detectives she contemplated jumping off the bridge with both children or throwing them off one by one and then jumping. The report goes on to say she admitted to walking away from her SUV parked on I-95 near the Golden Glades interchange while her children were foaming at the mouth when she heard the police sirens. Police say that's when she jumped over the overpass to try and end her life. We interviewed the children's father, Milson Cadet, later that day. In Creole, he said he didn't know why.
I don't really know what happened. He still don't know what happened.
Detectives say when they asked Alsame what she gave her children, she denied giving them anything and said she does not know what happened. Miami-Dade police say they found the brother and sister unresponsive inside this SUV Friday, February 2nd. Cadet told NBC6.
But how's she going to turn around now and be like, oh, no, I swear to God, that was the plan and everything. I was definitely going to kill them. Definitely. But, they both just simultaneously started foaming at the mouth from I don't know what. Wild, right? I know, it was weird. And then, since that was happening, I wasn't concerned at all. I just said, oh, police sirens are coming. I'm just going to throw myself over the bridge. But it had nothing to do with me. I never gave them nothing. I have no idea what happened and why they started foaming at the mouth and why I walked away from them at that point. I had no idea. Girl, please spare everybody the BS and just come clean and admit what you did. Because you did what you did. Okay? Just come clean and admit it now. We don't need you to be sitting here lying to people about what you did to them poor babies. We just don't.
He last saw his kids in Alsame Thursday morning. He said he called her all day and reported them missing less than 24 hours later.
Yeah, she said he's not gonna feel like okay now.
We learned Alsame and her family faced several eviction cases in the last 2 years. How her twins died or what they ingested, right now, that is still unknown. North Miami Beach, Nico Clemens, NBC6 News.
Just so sad. Nico, thank you. And we want to remind you, if you or someone you know is struggling with mental health, you can call or text the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline for help at 988.
honestly, lady, I hope you keep lying right now. I hope the autopsy results come in and that they're not willing to give you any kind of deal and they throw you under the jail. That's what I hope. Because right now you're making it so much worse for yourself by lying. Now, right? Because you realize in a moment, oh, I don't actually want to die anymore. And oh, wait a minute. I already told them way more than I should have. And that they're probably going to arrest me. So I didn't do it though. That's what you did. You decided in the last moment when you robbed those two precious children, 3 years old, of a whole life and future. You had no right to do that, first of all. Okay. But when you did that in a very assured way, you could have taken whatever poison you gave them, right? You could have did it. But you weren't going to do that, were you? I don't even believe you. I literally don't. You say you were driving around. I think you were walking away. You heard the sirens. You panicked and you thought to yourself, oh no, I'm too close to where my babies are. They're going to make this association. I'm going to get caught. I think you were setting something up. I don't know. I don't know. Right? But nothing about this story jives with me. Nothing about it jives with me. I don't believe this woman at all. I don't believe her story. She's trying to capitalize based on something we know that does happen to postpartum mothers and whatever postpartum psychosis and whatever postpartum depression. She's trying to capitalize on that, but I don't believe it at all. She didn't answer for over 24 hours, blah, blah, blah. She was setting something up. Now, I don't know what she did to them kids, and I don't know why she did it yet. The autopsy's going to come in, though. The autopsy's going to come in, okay? And I don't know if she noticed, but there was a trend where, guess what? It started last year. Where the lying? Yeah, you're getting found out, lady. I guess someone didn't tell her, but it's find out season. So guess what? Your lies aren't going to hold up. Not in the court of law, not before the court of law. We all know you're full of it. So you might as well come clean. Save the taxpayers a few dollars at least. Since you couldn't save your children the pain and suffering of ending their life in the worst way by the hand of the person they should have been able to trust the most in the world, the least you can do is save the taxpayers a few bucks. And just tell us what really happened. Plead guilty and let us throw you under the jail like you deserve for life. I don't know, but y'all let me know what you think. Maybe I'm being too harsh. Maybe I am reading stuff into it that's not really there. Maybe I'm being too cold and callous and she deserves our sympathy. I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think. Yeah, it's like that. I guess if y'all didn't notice, I don't believe her at all. I don't believe her. I don't believe this was postpartum. I don't believe she's crazy. Shout out to Progressive Matters. Glad you made it. Better late than never. Yeah, I don't believe she's crazy. I believe she's evil. And I do believe that her debts definitely play into this, okay? And I do think that part was true. I just don't think that she planned on going with the kids. And that's why it is that her kids were already foaming at the mouth and at the nose. But here's the thing. Y'all see this? Look at this. One last good day. Mom treated twin 3-year-olds to Chuck E. Cheese and McDonald's just hours before leaving them to die in the car. See, then they add and trying to kill herself. I don't think she was trying to kill herself at all. She just would have taken the same poison she gave them. They all would have sat there, chilled out. That would have been the end of that. Okay? But nope, I don't think she had any intention. I think she had a full intention of leaving them abandoned there. She's going to walk her big self away and then pretend like someone stole the car or something like that. I personally think that this was a way for her to deal with her problems involving business and money. That's what I think personally. And the more information comes out about this woman, the more I believe that. But okay, the video itself, that coverage was a little bit older. Okay, so we do have a new update, and I did want to share that. So let's take a listen to how the judge saw her, because Rosalind said, yeah, she's trying to convince herself because no one else will believe her. Well, let's see if that's true. Okay.
Well, no bond was given to a mother charged in connection with her children's death. Her twins were found non-responsive in an SUV parked on the highway earlier this month after she allegedly attempted suicide. NBC6's Jamie Garola is live in Miami with the new details in the case. Jamie.
Police say the mother confessed to plotting to kill her twins, but she did not admit to giving them anything before they died.
The state is requesting that the defendant be held without bond.
2 weeks since 3-year-old twins were found unresponsive and foaming by the mouth and nose.
Yeah, for the record, Mama Bell, I absolutely agree with you there. This is not about her being crazy, not about some medical thing and whatever. And the more information comes out, the more I'm convinced.
Inside a car on I-95, their mother appears in court. During the hearing, 42-year-old Charlene Alsamy was in a jail hospital bed when talking to the judge on video.
There's probable cause for the charge, 2 counts of child neglect. I think it should be more like child abuse or murder, but that's not what they're charging you today with.
He's talking about murder.
From my review of this arrest affidavit, it looks like you killed your 2 children and that you then try to kill yourself.
Yeah.
So that's why I believe there may be probable cause for different charges, but it's up to the state to file those charges.
When the judge's comments settled in, Alsamy.
Oh, she didn't like that. She did not like that at all, did she? Because see, the judge sees right through you. I bet you the prosecutors do too. But again, what they wanted to do is make sure that they charged her with what they could make stick, right? So they couldn't go for the murder charges unless they had the toxicology and the autopsy of what did the children actually die from. You know, for sure, they were probably given some type of poison, you know, whatever she could get her hands on, rat poison or whatever, who knows, right? Maybe that's why McDonald's, she put something inside the McDonald's food. We don't really know yet. But until they can upgrade the charges, they're going to give her the minimal thing. What did she admit to, right? And what can they prove? Well, the children were in her care, and then she turned around and she walked away from the kids while they were dying in the back seat of the car. At the very least, that's some type of negligence, right? So they just want to charge her so that way, like, okay, you're not getting away from this. It's going to allow them to open up all of her stuff and investigate more and etc. But this judge is letting her know in no uncertain terms, I see through you. I see through you. And I'm super, super proud of this judge. I really am.
Alsamy looked away from the camera in shock. According to an arrest report, Alsamy told investigators she'd been plotting to kill the 2 children and herself for the previous 2 months due to her current financial status and multiple debts that she owes. NBC6 learned Alsamy owns several businesses in South Florida, and she and her family faced several eviction cases over the last 2 years. The arrest report said Alsamy drove around with the twins throughout the day on February 1st, looking for a bridge to jump from. She finally decided on the I-95 overpass, where she parked her silver Toyota Highlander in the northbound lanes near the Florida Turnpike extension the next day. She jumped from the overpass to the train tracks below. We spoke to the twins' father the day it happened. He said he had no idea Alsamy would allegedly do that.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened.
All right, now police are still waiting on the medical examiner's report as well as a toxicology report to determine the cause of death. From there, those charges that she currently faces of child neglect with great bodily harm to murder.
And for the record, I wanted to play that last part that was said. So let's go back to us now. I wanted to play that last part that was said because it's really clear in all the messaging that is covering this story that they want it to be known. They want her to be sweating and they want her to trip up and make a mistake, admit something to somewhere, go somewhere to do something, to try to throw something away. They're trying to scare her into moving so that way they can prove it. And you can tell because it's like, they don't normally make statements like that. And I'm proud of them for doing it because I'm like, no, this woman is a snake. She was just in over her head with her businesses and evictions. She's used to being on top of the world and this and that. There's no, unless there was a method, like a benefit to her, there's no way why is she taking the kids out? The kids had a loving father. So it means she went out of her way to take the kids away from the father to do this for what? For what? Unless she thought she was going to be financially benefiting. Why didn't she take herself out the same way she took them out? Unless she never planned to take herself out at all. I don't know. What do you think, Sal?
I think she's trying to start that GoFundMe. She got caught by the police. She had a story. She probably studied before she got away with it. And she like, all I will get it with neglect unless they can prove something. Listen, It's always sad to see. You see on Twitter, everybody tell you to start a business, and then you get in over your head because everybody tell you everybody should be an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can't be an entrepreneur. Then you get in desperate situation, and you do ridiculous things to get out of that situation.
Mm-hmm.
You do things you never thought you would do, because people always say they wouldn't do something until they get in a situation where they'll do it, and that's not justifying it. I'm just telling you, when people get desperate, you'll see a completely different person.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think she 100% try to do something. Maybe she like, oh, I might survive from this height. Oh, I'm gonna start a GoFundMe when I get out. That's why she like, oh, I'm gonna get child neglect. And when they heard, and she's like, you should get you should get murder.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, what? I'm supposed to just get child neglect,
right?
And then I get empathy because I'm a sad person. You're supposed to give me empathy because I'm sad. I'm a depressed person. You're supposed to give me empathy. I am sad. Exactly. So now I'm sad. I'm depressed. My kid's gone. I tried to get them to empathize with me. Send me money. Go fund me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and as Rosalind said, you're in court for the death of your children with hand kick up behind your head. Chilling. She was chilling. She was ill. She was good. She was comfy, right? Because she was just using it. I'm telling you, people who are actually in the middle of a depression and whatever, if they were in the middle of it and postpartum psychosis, then they would be either entirely out of it and just, who cares? You can charge them with whatever. Who cares? They're over it already. Or they would be devastated, hating themselves and asking for more, trying to plead guilty immediately. They're trying to, because for them, they're like, they just hate themselves for what they did to their kids. They would be like shocked, like, what? Like, no, I'm sorry. This woman was just a trash pile. That's just, I'm like, she just made, literally, it was the moment where I found out that it was only as the sirens. The police saw her. They saw her. And it was after the police were already approaching that she threw herself over the bridge. That was so premeditated, calculated. I'm like, nah. I know this woman is trash bucket. And we're going to follow the story. We're going to follow this story. Trust me, we're going to follow the story. We might do like maybe mad minutes about it on TikTok or in YouTube Shorts. I don't know. But we're definitely going to follow the story because, like, yeah, I'm really hoping to see her get thrown under the jail. I can't stand it either, Mama Bell. I cannot stand it either. Hurting children, like, these are just 3-year-old twins. They had a father who would have taken them and loved them, no problem. He didn't have to take care of them. He didn't have to nothing. And there's no way she was in postpartum. So I'm pretty sure that her actual goal was to actually take these kids out so she could financially benefit, not so she could be taken out. And then when she saw that, I bet you she even picked that bridge. So that way, maybe, and the timing and whatever, maybe because she was trying to stage it to make it look like she was gonna kill herself. But I bet you, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna look into it. Because I bet you that is like the shortest bridge. And then she calculated it and knew there's a good chance she'd live. Because she looked pretty fine for someone who threw themselves off a bridge trying to kill themselves. She just ill and out. Good. And really? Bro, for someone who threw themselves off a bridge, I would have thought a full body cast, but she was good after driving around all day looking for a bridge to kill herself. Really? Okay. Anyways, I don't know. I think we're good. I'm good. I'm sorry for leaving this on a bad note, y'all. I hope y'all had a good time the rest of the time, or at least we're horrified. And yeah, sorry for horrifying you guys today.
Yeah, we started off with, hey, look at this funny looking man and these drugs that we should not take in Big Pharma, and then we got took down.
Right? The migrant crisis situation. We found out that America cares about feeding everyone's family but Americans. And then, yeah, I mean, geez, it's been a really eventful day. Of course, we got took down by the man also because you can't say Champic. Sorry, I said it again. So if we go down now, it's okay. The stream's pretty much over. And yeah, it was a good day all in all. And on that note, before we get cut off entirely, cheers, y'all. It's been real. Hope you guys have a great weekend. We'll see you next week with another Creator Corner and so many news stories. And we will be doing a short stream again where we watch Karens and outrageous people. And that will probably be Monday. Probably. Don't hold me to it, though. We all know I'm really bad at doing stuff. But like Monday, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Yes.
Remember to like and subscribe. By the way, I do want to say this. 250 subscribers. We hit a milestone, so you had to count out the milestone when you hit it. So 250 subs. I want to thank all y'all for being here. Thank whoever the 250th sub is. They did not tell me. They told me who 249 was. They did not tell me who 250 was. So we have to look into it. But shout out to number 250. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
And on that note,
cheers, y'all.